Simmers, welcome to the latest chapter in the Open for Business podcast. Let's get back to answering all your questions with Don and Tim.
Nightblade 151 asks, talents can bring you badges, so what do badges bring you?
The badges basically give you additional ability to do the business thing. So, for example, if you have a gold robot badge, you can build all of the various robots at the robot crafting station. If you have a high sales badge, you have more sales socials available for you to use.
Plus, they just look nice. Well, you know, you got to think of like somebody working in a little shop and they got their little badges on. Hey, I'm a gold badge clerk. I'm a gold badge robot maker.
Right. I'm in the Boy Scouts and I got a merit badge for robot making.
Don't tell Maxis Hunter we were making fun of the name badges. He'll be very upset.
It's kind of like Flair. You wear your Flair today?
That's great. We should have called it Flair. Flair's a better word. You're now at the silver flare in robot making.
So as you can tell, Don and I, badges was not our favorite choice of what to call these, but Maxis Hunter, he was very, very passionate about badges. Maybe he was a Boy Scout.
He could have been.
It's very possible. Badge is very important to him.
Fruit Wee Bubble asks... Fruit Wee Bubble, that's what it says.
Fruit Wee Bubble.
Fruit Wee Bubble asks, about how long will it take to become the best of the best? I assume they mean their business ranking.
Dano, I can honestly say I don't know.
I appreciate your honesty, Don.
But it will take a while.
It takes a while. It has to do with the number of loyalty stars you can build up, etc. So you've got to spend a good amount of time in your business and really move up those rankings, and you're not going to be able to do it quickly.
SimLever743 asks, how can you make a home business? I mean, how do you have a business in your home?
Well, that's actually a good question, because I think a lot of people will end up starting out with a home business because it's easier to start one, cheaper to start one. Essentially what you do is you can apply over the phone to create a home business, and once you do, you then have the ability to mark anything that might be in your house up for sale. So one of the strategies that many people have taken to make a little extra money right after they move in is they sell all the trees on their lot through their home business. So so you can basically get your Sims some extra money by selling off the stuff around the house. And it's as easy as that.
One of our developers put together a story where the father made the kids angry by cutting their allowance. So when the father was asleep upstairs, the kids started a business and sold all the furniture out from underneath Dad.
JJ Rivero 1907 asks, how does mentoring someone in business work? Can you mentor an NPC shop manager?
No, you can only mentor another family member, and mentoring basically takes one of the 25 business perks, and starting with the lower level gives that business perk to another sim. And actually it's not all 25. You can't do the ones that just give you cash awards, so it's just the skill-based ones.
Aspired Sim asks, will there be room in the game to create newer businesses down the road with future EPs? If so, will it be a very flexible option with the game?
Absolutely. I mean, I think the thing that's really cool about the Open for Business design is that it's specifically flexible, which certainly made it more difficult to develop. But the reality is that you can create any kind of business you want. So as we release future expansion packs and we add new objects and we add new game systems, they'll all take into account that Open for Business is out there, and so you'll be able to build new types of businesses in the future, as well as going backwards. So say, for example, if you have a university and you want to build a car dealership, you can. So it's really, really a flexible system. I think it's one of the most impressive things about Open for Business is really you can create any kind of business you can imagine.
I think you meant nightlife.
Did I say nightlife? What did I say? Oh, sorry, I did mean nightlife. Nightlife had cars. University, you could open a coffee shop if you had university.
Here's a question from the architects out there. Brenda Lynn, 1872, asks, I'm particularly interested to know if we can adjust the height of the split levels at all.
The answer, unfortunately, Brenda, would be no to that question.
However, they can go up or down, so you can make a stage or a sunken living room.
One of the questions that we did not get to about robots was if you can woohoo with robots. Platformer Masta asks, can Sims have romantic interactions with robots?
Robots can do pretty much anything a sim can do as far as the romantic interactions. However, they can't reproduce.
So no little baby robots.
Sims Baby asks, how many new hairstyles does each age have?
Well, I don't know how many hairstyles there are per age, but there is the new, was it salon chair or barber chair? Salon chair.
Salon chair.
And that's going to let you give makeovers to the Sims. And this is the cool thing for the hardcore players. It'll let you give makeovers to the townies as well. So if you're really tired of Goopy Gills Carbo's hairstyle, you can actually go in there and change it. Maybe give them some eye makeup. You know, you can have a lot of fun with the makeover chair.
Can your Sims purchase a community lot to use the top half as living quarters, like a flat?
Not really. It wouldn't work that way. What you would do is you would create a home business, and then you would set up the bottom half. You could build a 2-story house or a 4-story house, but you could set up whatever portion of it you wanted to be as business. You would mark things for sale there, or you might put in a ticket machine, whatever. However you want to run it. There are actually lockable doors now, so you can lock off and restrict areas of your house from roaming customers.
Evil Alice 3 asks, will there be any new music genres like jazz, college rock?
Well, that's actually a great question. One of the new musics that we're introducing in Open for Business is new wave. And what's really cool is we have some famous acts from the '80s have actually recorded some of their hit songs in Simlish, like Howard Jones, Kajagoogoo, and even Depeche Mode. So I think people are really going to love the music in this pack. And there are going to, according to sources, there are also going to be podcasts for all of the bands that I just mentioned.
And one last question here from Maxoid Monkey. He asks, what was your favorite bug in the game that you've seen?
I think my favorite bug is, and we had this happen a number of times, is when the Sims go into the elevator and then they don't come out and you can't find them. You have no idea where they went.
That was one of my favorite bugs.
Oh.
You just went and stole it.
Sorry.
Thanks a lot, Don.
Maxoid Monkey's asking me something. Okay. All right, I'll ask. Didn't you have a favorite lot that you produced or a favorite family that you produced?
Well, one of the things that I tried, which I thought was kind of humorous, because I actually got this question a number of times, specifically in Poland, and that is, could you make a career of being a lady of the evening? And so I
is that popular in Poland? Or?
They did ask about it. So I decided to give it a try, and the interesting thing is that yes, you can charge your clients for being on the lot, and you can of course woohoo with them, but your proprietor has to fall in love with all their clients, and vice versa. So it's not exactly a very efficient business, but I guess you'd have to say that's a pretty wholesome statement on how you'd have to do it in Simville.
So she has to love all her clients and vice versa.
Yes.
Wow. That's time consuming.
Yes, yes, it is. Of course, you can charge them for the time there while you're getting them to that state. So
of course,
it's not bad.
Then you have the whole jealousy issue, which the game,
Yes, that's true.
She'd have some trouble working a room.
It would it would be hard to maintain that. She'd have to entertain one client at a time. But I thought that was
so. It's
amusing.
Unlikely that most people will try to run this as an effective way to make a lot of money in the game.
Yes, nonetheless, though, I think that there are a large percentage of people will try that first thing.
I'll go back to. I don't know if it's not really a bug. It's just a very funny thing about the robots, which is the robots can break down. And so one of the things that I had happen was I had the Hydrobot broke down, and so it was just spraying water all over the place, leaving puddles. So rather than have my Sims clean it up, I actually had the cleaner bot go and clean up the puddles. So basically the cleaner bot was chasing after the broken Hydrobot, which I thought was pretty funny. Made me laugh. And in terms of businesses, the thing that when we were designing Open for Business, I really, really wanted a toy store. And so the fact that you have the toy workbench and everything is great, because you really can make a very cool toy store, and it's fun to see all the toys out on the shelf. But I would say that my favorite business is actually creating like a delicatessen. The food cases are so cool, and then you can have the sim make any kind of food you want, put it in the cases, and there's something just really sort of rewarding about having your sim cook all that food and then putting it out for sale. So that's probably my favorite.
Now, my favorite business to try to make some money fairly quickly would be as a realtor. So the idea is that you buy a community business, or you buy a business, a simple business, and then do some amount of work to get a few loyalty stars, and then sell that business. And so the challenge is, can you run a business to get the stars fast enough so that you can sell it for more money that makes it an efficient business? That's kind of an interesting twist on the various things you can do in Open for Business.
Okay.
But I admit, Tim, that's not a very funny business, but it's I think it's kind of cool.
Well, all right, guys. Thanks a lot for coming down today, and thanks for sharing your time with us.
Hey, it was our pleasure.
Check back on thesims2.com for any future announcements and our news and more updates about Open for Business.
Yeah, and even though Don has taken the lead on this expansion pack stuff, you guys are going to hear from me and see me, so I'm not completely gone.
Thanks, Daniel.
All right, guys. Bye.